Hello, this is a short video just to show how our online training service for business, ABC Food Law Online Plus for Business, works in practice. If you're a subscriber to our online training, then once you log in using the details that you were sent by email, so you'll be sent an email address and a password. Once you log in, you'll come to this welcome page. Now, on the welcome page, you'll see on the left-hand side is a short menu with online courses, on-demand webinars, live webinars, library, video tutorials, reports, certificates, and my details. And I'll come back to that menu in a moment. Below the welcome page, you'll see a list of on-demand webinar categories. To the left, you'll see your name, and I'm using a fictitious business user, Tony Frampton here. You can see Tony is logged in. He's got 6 months left on his subscription. There's a log out button. Below that, next live webinar. We run a whole series of live webinars throughout the year, which are available to you at no additional cost. And you can just click on there to see when the next live webinar is scheduled. Below that, there's a news feed. We use that just to let you know when new courses are published on the service. So if I scroll back up again, on the left-hand side, let's have a look at this menu. I'd like to start at the bottom in the My Details section, because you'll be sent a username, a password, and of course your email address. But if you want to change any of those, you can do so here. So in this section, the My Details, you can't change your name. That's obviously been locked, but you can change your email address, you can change your username, and you can change your password. Once you've done that in here, just click on Save or Update, and those details will be saved next time you log in. Going on to online courses on the left-hand menu. Online courses are text-based courses. These are quite detailed courses and can take some time to complete. When you click on online courses, you'll see a menu of the courses available in various categories: animal feed, food hygiene, food science and technology, food standards, general food, health and safety, imports and exports. If you just click on one of those, for example, food hygiene, then you will see the courses that are available and the modules that are within those courses. Typically, a module will take about an hour, typically, to complete. So you get an idea of how long each of these courses will take. If you want to view one of these courses, click on the title. So we can see here, Introduction to Food Law for Food Business Operators is a 10-module course with some optional assessments at the end if you want to do those. They're sort of multi-choice quizzes. So let's click on Introduction to Food Law. You can see the 10 modules and the names of those modules, but when you click on the title, you'll be taken to the course itself and you'll see the modules listed. Now you can see that our fictitious business user, Tony Frampton, has already completed a number of these modules. You can see he's passed them and certificates are available. You can complete these modules in whichever order you want. You don't have to go in order, but I'm just going to click on the first module, Module 1, Introduction to Food Law. Click on that. You'll get an introduction to the particular module. You can download a PDF booklet with some course notes in there. But to undertake the training, hit the big green button, Introduction, and off we go. It's an online course, so it's text-based, but you do have, for an example here, lots of different screens. You can click on them and you'll get pop-ups of additional information as you work through. When you go down to the bottom of this page, you can go on to the next page and see what's on there. You work your way through clicking on next page. When you get to the end of a section, it will say click on next section and so forth until you get to the end of the module. At the end of a module, you'll have the option to take a quiz. The quiz is typically a multi-choice quiz, typically 5 questions. It'll ask you those 5 questions. You click on your appropriate answer, and at the end, you click on how did I do? And it will give you the result. It will give you your answers, it will give you the correct answers, and it will tell you how you did in that particular quiz. If you didn't do so well, you can always redo it. Just simply say redo quiz. You can complete the quiz as often as you like, and that's absolutely fine. Once you've completed the quiz successfully, you'll be invited to record the time that you spent on this particular module. You type that in, you push a little button, and it will generate a certificate to just confirm that you have actually completed this particular module. So on the online courses, you just work through the course at your own pace. If you leave the course and want to come back again, it will bookmark where you were last time. So it's absolutely fine. For on-demand webinars, well, before I go on to the on-demand, I'd like to have a look at the live webinars. I mentioned we schedule live webinars regularly. Here are ones we've got scheduled at the moment. I'm recording this in May 2024. You can see we've got a couple in May, we've got one in June, a few later on in the year, but there will be others being scheduled all the time. If you want to register for any of these live webinars, you just come to this page and click on register, enter your details, and that's it. When you can turn up on the webinar. If you can't make it, it doesn't matter. You don't have to send apologies or anything like that. If you attend a live webinar, you can, of course, ask questions because they're broadcast live. When we broadcast a webinar live, we record it, and it's then placed into our library of on-demand webinars. So let's have a quick look at those. The on-demand webinars are placed into categories. There are over 100 of them available to you, and they're updated all the time. So every time we broadcast a live one, we record it, we re-record, just to try and make sure all these are up to date and relevant. So you can select from this menu of on-demand web. Let's have a look at food science and technology. If you click on the category food science and technology, then you can see we have a number of webinars available. Typically, these webinars are about an hour long each. If you want to have a look at one, let's have a look at one at the bottom, brewing science and technology. You click on go to module. It will tell you when this particular webinar was recorded, and then you can download a note pack, which is basically the presentation PDF slides. To do the actual webinar, hit the big green button, and you'll be taken to a page where the webinar is actually available. So in this webinar, you'll see you can actually fast forward, you can rewind, you can do whatever you feel is appropriate. You can make the screen a little larger if you want to by expanding using a little button on the side. And I say, if you have a particular interest in something, you can pause the video. You can move forward if you're not particularly that interested in it, whichever you want to. At the end of the webinar, you can, of course, just have a look at other materials. There's another little video there, plus some supporting documents, and then complete the quiz. The quiz is the same as for our online training courses. So again, it's multiple choice. Again, you can complete it as many times as you want. Once you've successfully gone through the quiz, you'll be awarded a certificate. So if I scroll back up, that's the on-demand webinars. We've done the live webinars. If I just move on to the video tutorials. Now, the video tutorials are very short videos that we've recorded. They are available on our YouTube channel as well, but here we've organized them into various groups. There is an introduction to food law, which is a video which is about an hour long and runs through 100 food law topics, because there are 100 of these video tutorials available. If I just quickly go back to the video tutorials menu, you can see that that one's been grayed out because Tony has already completed that one. He's also completed general food law, but he hasn't completed the other topics, food hygiene, food standards, and imports. If I just click on food hygiene, you'll see the list of food hygiene topics are available. These are all short videos, typically 10 minutes in duration, something of that nature. If you wanted to actually look at one of these, then it might be food hygiene rating scheme, for example. Then you click on the text. There's a short booklet you can download, and then once again hit the green button. Once you've hit the green button, the video will be made available. Just click play, and there we have it. There's the video. Again, what you can do is you can watch the video, fast forward it, rewind. This one's about 15 minutes long. That's quite a long one. Usually they're between about 5 and 10 minutes long. The idea is, if you have a short video tutorial here. If you want to know a little bit of information, go to the short video and watch it for 10 minutes or whatever. There is some additional information available, but then if you want a bit more information, you can click on the link to the ABC webinar food hygiene rating scheme, because for pretty much every short video tutorial of 10-minute long videos, there will be an additional webinar about an hour long for you to complete. So depending how much information you want. Again, the same format with the video tutorials. Once you've watched the little video, there's a quiz. You complete the quiz, you can then produce a certificate. Going back to our list here, so we've been through the live webinars, the on-demand, the online courses, video tutorials. We then have the library. The library is a pretty comprehensive library of food law, health and safety law, criminal law, but also support. If you need technical support, click on support. There is some videos in there of how to use our online webinar service, because that's provided by an external host, Flow app. So if you have any problems accessing the live webinars, for example, there is 24/7 hour support available here. You can also check your internet connection, there's user guide and things like that. In the food law section of the library, it's divided up into legislation, case law and guidance. But if you're not quite sure what you're looking for, but you know the sort of topic, then we have some hot topics available. So all you need to do is click on hot topics. So for example, food allergens, and it will take you through to a list of resources. You just click on the links to view the additional information. There's e-learning courses. There's all sorts of things that are available to you by going through this particular library page. If any time you're in the online service and you want to go back to the welcome page, just click on the top online training home and it will take you back to welcome. Because the last thing to talk about are the reports and certificates. I mentioned that you have a record of the number of times you've completed your quizzes, for example. If you click on reports, it will just list out all the modules you've completed, all the various videos you've watched. It will tell you how many times you've taken a particular test and what your average score was and what your pass rate was. So it's a full record of all your attempts on the quizzes. On the left-hand menu again, we have certificates. I mentioned that you will be awarded a certificate on successful completion of any of the learning modules on the service. If you click on certificates, we now have a record of all your certificates, and they're divided up into certificates for online courses, on-demand webinars, video tutorials, live webinars, and then a summary. You can select a date that you want to view certificates from. It defaults for the previous year, but you can go back as long as you want, or into a short period, into a week or a month or whichever you want, by selecting here and using this filter. If you want to look at a CPD summary, so that's the continuing professional development summary, a summary of your learning, then down the bottom it will list it out. So Tony has done 11 hours on online courses, he's done 1 hour on an on-demand webinar, he spent 12 hours on video tutorials. If we want to export that, we can do that by clicking the export button, and that will put it into Microsoft Excel in a report so that the information can be looked at. We just go back to the top. Every module that's completed, every video tutorial, every on-demand or live webinar, you'll get a certificate. You will complete the amount of time you spent on the learning yourself when you're actually doing the course, but if you make a mistake, you can edit it at this stage. If you click on print, then what will happen is your certificate will be generated here. You can save it onto your computer, you can print it, you can do whatever you wish with it. So the print button here will generate the actual certificate. Okay, so we go back to the welcome page. That's just a quick overview of our ABC Food Law Online Plus for Business, which is available by subscription on our website, www.abcfoodlaw.co.uk.